What's going on, everyone? So, look at Dogecoin today. Should you sell Dogecoin? Should you buy? What's the move for today? Well, definitely stay tuned. Let me show you guys some updates on the markets, and I'll share with you guys my overall thoughts on Dogecoin. Now, just remember, this video is my own opinion. This is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. So be sure to do your research before making any investments. But currently, Doge is taking the biggest hit it's taken the past few weeks. And currently, we are at 18 cents. This massive drop. I mean, recent highs we had, obviously, 70 plus cents. Managed to bounce from this drop, going up to 20, back up to 44. Now we are significantly lower. Now we're 18. Now, there's a lot of different reasons why this is happening, and one of them happens to be because the overall market is getting hammered. Bitcoin currently right now, it's at its lowest price it's ever been in the past few months, and we're sitting right now, currently, at least when I'm filming, 30.5, pretty much 30.499, and then even Ethereum is at 1.8K. We're just taking a bloodbath today, looking at everything else, Binance, Cardano, everything, Ripple, and next thing you know it, we got Doge. Now, the interesting thing is Doge is still in the top 10. We still have a $23 billion market cap, yet we're just significantly down more than, let's just say, depending on what price point you got it, over 50+%, give or take, from the initial high point in the 70 cents. So the first catalyst obviously is the overall market is getting destroyed. So that's just one reason why Dogecoin is getting the L as well as the other cryptos, right? So that's just everything moves in coordination with everything else. So if the big top cryptocurrencies overall market decides to drop, guess what? Dogecoin is probably going to look quite similar. Now, people even complain, they try to text Elon Musk or tweet him, whatever, and try to complain to him, saying like, hey, Elon, what happened? You're not talking about Doge anymore. It's getting destroyed. Well, it really doesn't make sense for him to talk about Dogecoin when Bitcoin, ETH, all the giants are destroyed as well, right? So if he were to post something, not much is going to happen because all the money has left crypto and they've moved it into other assets or maybe other stocks, even coins, other businesses, etc. So even if he were to make some sort of breakthrough, I don't know, Doge upgrade mission or space launch, whatever integration, the timing, at least currently today, it just wouldn't make any sense because everybody's in like the scared state, the fear state. So if he were to post something amazing or even share any updates, what's going to happen? The price might be bumped a little bit and then people are going to sell off again. So it doesn't really make sense timing wise now, at least this week, to see any major things going on, at least for Dogecoin. The biggest indicator it would be to, one, see the overall market first and then decide whether or not it's still worth it or if it's basically dropping back down to its original sub 1 cent mark. Now, is that a possibility? Can Doge drop back down to the sub 1 cent mark? Well, at this rate, if the market doesn't recover anytime soon and Bitcoin, ETH, all the top cryptos keep dropping and dropping and dropping, then Doge is probably going to continue. Now, the difference is Doge is mainly based off of supply and demand. So, one is obviously the market's down, but the other main reason, which is a big, huge factor, is the China FUD, right? So, let me show you guys this. First off, this article gives you a general idea. A lot of the Bitcoin miners from China are moving over to US, and this article shows Texas and Florida are apparently some of their prime locations. So you can see here it's kicking out, China's more than kicking out half of its world's Bitcoin miners, and a whole lot of them could be headed to Texas. So that's one thing already, is the fact that China has basically been cracking down on crypto, Bitcoin miners in particular. That's destroying Bitcoin's price. ETH, everything else falling in coordination. Hence, Dogecoin results in a similar fate. Now, looking at the overall potential, right? This could mean it could be at this floor at least. We could say this could be the floor. We do have a green candlestick forming, but also if we were to switch, for instance, to like Bitcoin's chart, right? So let's go to Bitcoin And let's see if I can find, let's just use Coinbase, easiest one to look at. We zoom out and we can see Bitcoin has a slightly different chart, obviously, but we can see that I was running up, and up, and then it sells off massively. So in terms of the similarities in the chart with Doge, you can see that we had the run-ups here, and then now it's starting to sell. So again, this is the crypto space. Things like this happen all the time. Now, is this the end of the bull markets? That is something we have to wait and see, because before, in 2017 at least, switching it back, we can see we ran up significantly and then massive sell-off, and it took months, if not years, to fully recover to get back to the point we're at here. So technically, we are still well above the high point back in 2017, but it's still, if you're looking at Dogecoin in particular, there's not really much history in terms of Doge, for example, that actually has it going up. So let's do Dogecoin Tether. I mean, we can see like some slight movements here, but for the most part, other than that, I mean, there's nothing. There's no history behind Doge for getting the gains is made at this point. So future term, I mean, it's basically supply and demand, right? If you look at the volume, for instance, and let's go scroll down to Dogecoin, and let's actually click into it. That way you can see it much easier. So now let's look into it. We're looking at right now the numbers. Volume is actually up significantly. We're at $7.4 billion traded in the last 24 hours. So in terms of demand, there's still a lot of people, looks like they're going to buy the dip. So that could be the potential floor in these areas. We don't know. It could continue to go lower though, because the overall market's still taking quite a beating. So definitely don't be surprised if Doge were to drop even farther than what it's currently at. But in terms of the potential, like for instance, this Doge, can it go back to 1 cent? I think personally, the only way it would make sense to go back to the original levels of 1 cent or below is, one, the overall market has a humongous regulation on it, right? Overall, in general, a lot of countries, they start to regulate it heavily, then yes, crypto could start to fall significantly. But the chance of that happening, at least right now, I don't know. It's something hard to predict. China obviously doing its thing, regulating crypto however they please, and it's significantly impacting the overall market. But seeing Dogecoin were to drop that far, I mean, let's see the percent. What would that be at its current price? And let's just go back to like the 1 cent price, like right here. And we're like 100%, almost 90+% drop, which isn't too far away. That's one thing to remember. It's not too far away. But if we could see some green candlesticks forming in the next few days, and even if we were to switch this like to 1 hour, it's probably easier to see the short term. We can see we have way more buyers coming in at this price point. So maybe people are buying the dip. And obviously if we were to, let's switch back to like the 1 day. We can see that the recent support, unless you can say, is around this last wick candlestick right here at the 16 price points. It seems like people are holding at this current line right now. So this could be the new support level, the new base of Doge, but only time will tell. I think the main things you want to keep in mind is the overall markets, how the news is doing. And then 2 is, if the market maintains its bearish sentiment, then yes, Dogecoin might continue and just relax or consolidate sideways at the prices that it's currently at. But don't expect too much craziness of Doge going to $1 in the short term right now, especially when the market's getting absolutely hammered. So unless the overall market starts to reverse, then it's basically a waiting game. So until then, we'll have to wait and see. But if you are considering Doge, definitely consider the risk levels, because it is solely based off of its actual demand. And there's not really much in terms of the technology behind it that could give you a long-term prediction, besides literally the fact of demand and how much people are interested in Dogecoin and using it in terms of currency and other causes. But until then, it's a waiting game. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.